It is about 5:30 p.m. here on Sunday, May 11th, 2025, Mother's Day. And I'm going to move the animals to a new section here. Yesterday afternoon, I had the chance to actually pin up all of the sheep, and with some help, I was able to go through each one of the sheep and look at their hooves. There were quite a few that had some minor issues. It looks like a hoof scald might be developing. There were a couple, like 3 or 4, I think, that had some pretty bad issues. And so I doctored them the best I can. So, whoa! You can watch the sheep as they walk here, see if they're comfortable or not. I found that the 10% solution of copper sulfate is just a miracle worker in terms of healing from the effects of hoof rot and hoof scald. Yeah, I'm looking for head bobbing. That tends to indicate that one of their feet are sore. And I imagine all the laggards are the ones that had issues. A lot of the sheep were just perfectly healthy and fine. Some of them had deep red eyelids too. I didn't really check the Hamasha score. I'm not trained to do such a thing. But I have some really good sheep. That one, back left hoof, she is limping. I think I might have just trimmed her. Oh, the ram was doing just great. A little bit long hoof, but he's fine. Number 11 was actually really excellent. I'm surprised at how healthy she was. All right, here comes the laggards. Probably because they have hoof issues of one or the other. Front left hoof there. You can see she's staying off. This one too, it looks like front left hoof. 141, I think she only had one hoof that was an issue, but it was pretty bad. So I cleaned her up, and I might have wrapped it too. The wrap will come off naturally after a couple days, which is about the ideal number of time, the ideal amount of time to have them recover. And you know, my program, I'm not about helping their immune system do something that it can't do. The copper sulfate does a couple things. I think one of the things it does is it basically sanitizes the area, but it doesn't prevent reinfection. The other thing is it dries it out. There, this poor lady, she had a pretty bad issue there on her front left hoof. The other hoofs were just fine though. So yeah, she's hobbling along. I imagine this guy too. She's probably in a bit of pain. Yeah, front right hoof there. Come on. You can see there's plenty of grass left over. When I come out here, the sheep were towards the east, which is where we're moving. And the cows are kind of spread out a little bit. But I'm seeing plenty of manure here. There she goes. The grass here is up, it's bending over, but if I hold it up straight, it's going to be past my waist. There's a downed tree from that storm that happened, I think back in March, that blew a bunch of things over, knocked over my neighbor's barn. They're probably going to munch on the leaves on that tree, which is probably a really good thing. Somebody mentioned culling. They're like, you need to cull the sheep. And yeah, I do, and I would. The only extending circumstance is that I want to get as many animals as I can on this property right now. I kind of don't care if they're healthy or sick. Either way, they're going to help the soil grow and recover. And even if that animal doesn't end up loaded up on a trailer at a sale barn somewhere, you know, helping my bank account with direct cash, they're going to help by helping to restore the soil and nature and stuff like that. I'm not too concerned about cross-contamination of hoof rot and hoof scald. My thinking goes like this, is that they're living in an environment where they're constantly exposed to the pathogens, the things that cause disease. And I can't create a sanitary environment. That's not my job. If the animal needs a sanitary environment to live, then they can't live on my farm. Instead, the animal needs to be healthy enough that they can handle the pathogens. Now, sometimes things get out of control with wounds, and things like that. And a little bit of medicine can go a long way. However, I'm not going to rely on antibiotics. That defeats the purpose of having the animals on the land. I'm not out here to kill things. That's not the point. And I don't use antiparasitics for the same reason. I want to encourage the worms and the bugs and everything else to do their job. And somebody was saying, I don't quite understand, but they were saying that the parasites actually have a role and that they're an important aspect of the animal's health, that every animal should have a little bit of parasites, you know. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose is, or you know, why God created this green earth with parasites on them. And but I'm pretty convinced my job isn't to eliminate all the parasites. So if they have a little bit, it's okay. It probably serves some kind of function or role for the animal's health. You know, we get obsessed with trying to avoid all the bad stuff in life. And, you know, philosophically speaking, that's not life, you know. Really what we're supposed to be doing is taking those bad things and treating them like a challenge to overcome, you know, something to temper the steel and you purify the gold, or whatever you want to call it, however you would think about it. But I think the parasites do serve a role, and maybe the role is that they take weak animals and make them weaker so that they're excluded from the herd and they don't reproduce. And if that's the case, then I'm glad to have them, you know. Anyway, this is my messed up philosophy. If you guys agree with me, everybody else in the world is probably going to complain and say, you know, you guys are crazy. But that's fine with me. So anyway, not much to add. Just a beautiful Sunday day. Oh, the temperature, the weather. This is going to be fun. So today is 68 degrees. Tomorrow is going to be 80, 82. Tuesday is going to be like 89. And then finally on Wednesday, it says it's going to get up to 98 degrees. So I'm going to make sure that all of my animals can take shelter in the trees on that 98 degree day. It's not that unusual to have warm days in May. It's a little bit weird to have it so early in May, but it's going to be good for the grass. Guys, have a great day. Take care. Excuse me. Bye-bye.